Okay, let's learn how to spin a Bulgarian bag. Grab your bag, and first things first, let's go over the weight distribution factor. Before we get the bag moving above the head, let's just get an idea of what your hips need to be doing. So I need your hips moving opposite of the Bulgarian bag. Real simple drill here. We're gonna slide the bag across the front, and I want your hips going opposite of the bag. So as the bag goes to the right, my hips veer off to the left. As the bag goes the other way, I change sides, right at the same time as the bag does. Okay? Give it kind of like a swinging effect. Once you kind of get that, hips go right, bag goes left, and they're on opposite sides. Never on the same side, because then you would just go flying. You have to counter the weight. Bag goes right, I go left. Just practicing this might take you a few minutes. Notice I'm swinging the bag, I'm not muscling it across. I'm just kind of loosely dragging it from one side to the next. Once you start to get it, raise the bag up. Raise it up. Raise it up. Okay. During the lifting process, leave your hips on that side. Look, I'm still on the opposite side of the bag. Bag is left, I'm right. Bag right, I'm left. And just work that. That might take you a few minutes to kind of get, so practice that. You shouldn't be running into your knees or hitting yourself down here or anything. That bag should slide right across nicely and then start to come up the pipe. That's square one, is just getting your weight distribution down, getting this little slide going. Okay. Okay, as it's coming out of this swing here, what I call the baby swing, in the very beginning, we have to pull the bag up and get it around the head. That's going to be the goal. Okay, we got the baby spin, we got this working, we're confident with it, we're coming up. The next step is to start pulling this over the head. Well, we got to kind of get it where it's pulled softly. So I'm going to lift the top hand up and get it around the head, and the bag sits nicely on the back. Okay, same hand comes off, cast it away, ride that wave right into your baby swings. Try it again. Okay, major thing with the Bulgarian bag spin is we don't want the bag over the head. You'll learn this later, but when you spin the bag, you want to peel it around the head. You want it low and close. We don't want this big windmill over the head. So when we're just learning, and we're coming out of this little baby spin, I want to pull that thing low, close, and tight around my back and around my head. That's square one, is just getting that where it doesn't bash you and bang you, and you're getting the hang of that nice and slowly. Okay, now I'm going to practice the other side a couple times. Okay, right hand up and over, right hand off. Boom. Okay, baby spins, pull it around the back. Pull it around the back. Baby spin, baby spin, baby spin, pull it around the back. We try the other side. Just getting that concept of wrapping it around the body nicely, softly, safely, and not bashing yourself can be just the start of your Bulgarian bag spin. So square one is just getting the weight distribution factor down. Step two is coming out of that, pulling it around the head. Okay, now let's go on from there. Okay, let's talk a little bit, again, let's back up to the very second technique, and let's talk about your elbows and how they should react in the spin. So we're back to the baby spin again. Okay. When I'm pulling it up around the head, there's two things you can do. You can either open your elbows or you can close them. Okay. Kettlebells are typically done with closed up, tightened shoulders like this, where our elbows are almost pressed together. Mace and Bulgarian bag is the opposite. We flare open. Okay, so when you're coming around the corner, open those elbows up, flare those elbows, okay? Almost like you're flexing right here. Give a little bicep curl, okay? And they come around. We don't want the elbows close and tight when we come around for a spin. We want to open the elbows, open the shoulders, flare, and get around the head, okay? As I'm coming up, the only way to do it is to open that elbow and get around the head here. Open the shoulder, open the elbow, and go. You can't do it with internally rotated, closed up shoulders. It's not going to work. You need to flare, you need to open your elbows during the spin. So pay attention to that. Let me demonstrate a couple reps and notice the elbow flare on this. Open, open. Left elbow, right elbow. Left elbow, right elbow. That is gonna help get that bag up and around. If you've got tight shoulders or rotator cuff issues, and or you've been doing kettlebells for a long time and you're so used to this, it's gonna be difficult for you, but you have to open up. You have to flare those elbows. You have to get up and open up around your head. It's not gonna work if you keep everything tight. Okay, part 3. You've got the baby swing down where you got the weight distribution. You're coming up out of the shift right there. You've now pulled the bag on your back. You're confident with just doing this here. It's not beating the crap out of you. It's wrapping around your head nicely. Well, when you spin a bag, it's not actually going to stop here. This is just a technique drill. It's going to continue going, and it's going to come out the other side. Okay, I'm going to grab a little higher on the bag. So as this comes out the other side, okay, I have to shift my weight away from the bag. As the bag is casted off to the left, I body weight shift to the right. And then it's going to spin along and start the next rep by pulling it up and around the head, shifting my weight to the other side, casting it away with my back arm, and then it slides right along the front, just like the baby spin drill. Back, up and over, immediately off, around, off, around, off. Okay, check it out. See how my weight shift has to be on time with the bag. It can't be faster or slower, it has to be timed with the bag. So as the bag gets heavier, I will adjust my hip speed. Okay, notice how the arms are getting up and around the head. The first elbow, as you pull it up and around the head, that first elbow, priority 1 is getting that first elbow up and around the head and clearing your head so you can weight shift and push it out the other side. Let it roll along the front. When it starts to come up the end of the baby spin, pull it around the head, tight and low, shift your weight to the other side, punch it across. Okay. One thing I really want you to emphasize is when the bag gets behind your head and is out of your sight. Okay, once you've pulled up out of the baby spin and you're pulling up around the head, it's wrapping around your head. When it's wrapping around your head, that's the point where you actually want to hit the gas pedal a little bit. That's not the part to slow down. Usually when it's out of your sight is where people start to slow down and get a little cautious. That's where you want to hit the gas pedal. Baby spin, up the chimney. Once it gets out of your sight, boom. Think like Ronda Rousey throwing a judo throw right there. That's the point where you shift, shift, pull it, boom, pull it up, boom, pull it up, boom. You should definitely see a turning of the torso, an aggressive turn of the hips. That's not the time to be slow. That's the time to hit the gas pedal and be fast. Check it out. I'm gonna go with a little heavier bag so you can see it real time. Okay. Notice what I do when the bag is behind me. That's where I really hit the gas pedal. At the moment where it's right, we're transitioning. I'm going right, bag's going left. That's the time to hit the gas pedal. Right. Now, go, 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 go. Right in that moment, boom, boom, boom. In that moment where it's behind my head, right there, that's where you throw that quick twist, quick aggressive judo-like tug throw. So one of the cues that I use when I've got a student who's kind of getting the hang of it, but they're leaving their arms too straight, they're spinning way too tall above their head, they're almost windmilling the entire bag. They've got the hips, they've kind of got it. All they would need to do is to bring it down a little bit, but they leave them arms straight and the thing is way above the head. My cue is you need to peel it around your head. Instead of windmilling it and getting it up above your head, the student needs to peel the bag around the head as tightly as possible. Okay, I don't want it way up here. Okay, this is how a lot of people start. They kind of get it. I mean, they're almost there. They've got the hips at least. They've got the balance. They're in control of the bag somewhat. They just need to peel it around the head. Peel. Keep it low. Keep it low. Keep it low. Peel it. Peel it around the head. Peel it around the head. Peel it around the head. Not over the head. Okay. Around the head. Around the head. Around the head. There, you're going to get an act of pulling and have to use your torso to turn it. Otherwise, the bag's kind of in control of you. You know what I mean? Okay, one of the things I troubleshoot a lot A very common issue is what I've now coined the crooked spin. So make sure that when you're spinning your bag, you're turning both directions. You turn it right, left, right, left, right, left. I get a lot of people who turn one way, and that's kind of how they stay, or they turn and they come back to the middle, and they only do like half of it. Well, their spin, see how it's really heavy to the right, over here to the right corner? I'm almost getting nothing to the back. That's what I call the crooked spin. So make sure if you turn to the right, you also turn to the left. And see how that evens things out and gets the hips more in balance? Okay, back to the crooked one, where that's just one-sided. Or side, middle, middle. Or they just stay over to the side. Now, turn both ways. You don't want a crooked spin. Turn right, turn left, turn right, turn left, turn right, turn left. Okay, hope that helps. The clean is one of the fundamental exercises with the Bulgarian bag. You're all going to come across it. We can all do it. It's more of a grab and go exercise with the Bulgarian bag. Grab your bag and check it out. It's pretty simple to pick up. So the goal on this is to take it, it's real similar to the dead clean with the kettlebell if you've seen that before. It's going to start dead on the ground right in front of me. I'm going to be in a hinge position with my hands locked around the handles. I'm going to stand up and pull the bag up, try to wrap the bag so my arms end up in between these two knobs here. You see, A and B? I'm gonna try to get my biceps right in between there. When you're first learning this, you'll hit them a couple times and you'll realize they need to go in those little slots, and then wrap the bag up all the way to the top so you're in almost like a front rack. Okay? And then you release the bag, keep it real close to me, and set it back down on the ground. Pick it, wrap it, keep it up here, not down here, raise it all the way up to a front rack, and then back to the floor. Up, wrap, down. Notice I'm keeping it real close to me. There could be a wall right in front of me. So I'm trying to rip it up, wrap it up, release it. Rip it up, wrap it up. Okay, I'm real aggressive on the wrap part, and I almost clench it into me at the very top right here. Unwrap, stab it in the floor, pick it up, wrap it, and end up in this high rack right here. Ideally with the biceps in between these knobs. Okay, here's what I don't want. I don't want to flop it over and have it smash me in the arms or in the chest. I want to actively get my arms around this bag and actively get my biceps in these, right in between these knobs. Boom, down. Rip it up, actively wrap it. It's like breathe every time it hits me in the chest, just like a kettlebell. Okay? The goal is going to be speed, so I want to rip this thing up, wrap it up in my chest pretty quickly. If it starts to get slow, you'll see it bloop over and start to smash you in the wrist. That's not what we want. So with the heavy bag of weight, it should still look the exact same. As soon as this thing hits the floor, I'm trying to rip it up to the rack position. Speed is the goal. I want to really wrap this thing up. Okay? That's the clean with the Bulgarian bag. So grab your bag and just practice a couple with me. And this would typically be how you practice them. Do about 10 reps and rest. If you need to film yourself and watch and readjust, that's a good option too. But generally, the things you want to watch out for are keeping the bag close to you. It shouldn't be bashing you and blooping and smashing your forearms. It should be wrapping up in a quick fashion. So we want to come up, wrap the bag, unwrap it, stab it in the ground. Okay, we want to come right off the ground like there's hot lava on the floor. Check the breathing, make sure you're exhaling on the top. The speed is what's important. Even with good technique, when this thing gets slow, it turns into this ugly bicep curl and smashes you and then snags you and then smashes you. Much different than if you put the energy into it. And you actually work the bag. You're quick about things. Okay, so practice this thing about 10 reps at a time. Film yourself if needed. And it's one of the more grab and go exercises with the Bulgarian bag. You're gonna need to know how to do that for groundwork. So practice a few sets. Let me know how you're doing. Okay, let's talk about the snatch with the Bulgarian bag. Now we do actually swing the bag, and there's a couple things that differ from the clean. Check it out. With the snatch, I'm not going to take a typical spin grip here. This is the only exercise where I'm going to take what's called a microphone grip. I'm going to switch them where they're popping out of my hands this way. It's easier to snatch the bag this way. You can do it the other way, it's not wrong, but it's definitely my preference, and you'll see why when we get to the complexes and combination workouts. It's just easier to transition. So, the snatch with the Bulgarian bag, we do actually swing this in between our legs now, and we actually go for a pretty deep backswing and a snap lockout. Those are the two things I'm looking for. It's got to stay close to us like anything else, like just like a kettlebell, just like a clean, any other snatch that you do. The weight needs to stay close to you, and it's not like we're going for any kind of special fixation. The goal of the Bulgarian bag is usually speed, especially in my program. So you're going to be ripping through snatches. You don't need to fixate and spend a lot of time in the lockout. It's more of a snap lockout. Okay, so check it out. Two things: deep backswing, snap lockout. Okay, bag starts in front of us. I'm going to take the microphone grip, hike it nice and deep, pull it out as quick as I can, snap lockout, back down. Snap lockout, back down. Snap lockout, back down. And as I do this, I'm pulling it down as fast as I can, shooting it up as quick as I can. Pick it up, rip it down. Rip it up, rip it down. Rip it up, rip it down. Get the idea. The goal is speed. So there is a backswing now, and we don't really need to go for any kind of special fixation because we're usually going to be going for speed in these workouts. So snap lockout. Okay, so let's take a look at the lockout and how I'm punching through at the very top on the bag. If you're going to use the spin grip, you'll notice that when you try it, it just beats and bashes you in the back. That microphone grip, you must punch under the bag in order to get it. And you got to kind of punch out a little bit early, like when I'm snatching the bag as it comes up, right as it passes my head and gets right above my head here, that's my point to try to punch under the bag and catch it. If I wait too long, it's going to bloop and knock and smash me. So after I come out of the backswing and I'm pulling it up and it's free floating, that's my chance to punch under it, catch it, and then ride that wave all the way to 12 o'clock. And then I'm ripping the thing kind of back down. So watch if you can kind of zoom the camera in up high and just focus on the lockout from the side here. Check it out. Hike, boom, punch under. Punch under, and I kind of pull back on the way down. Okay, so let's put together some practice sets with what you know. So you know we have a nice deep backswing to it. You know we're pulling this thing above our head. You know we're punching out early. The only way to get better at it is to just practice the darn thing. So notice how I set it up. I take a wide stance to accommodate. I have a bigger bag now. This is a 12-kilo bag. My stance has to be wide. I'm going to take the microphone grip, kind of like a kettlebell. I'm going to hike it first, and then after I hike it, I'm going to pull it up, punch the thing out, hopefully smooth, and then rip it right back down into a nice deep backswing before pulling up again and locking out. Okay. Notice I'm going to be ripping it down as fast as I can, ripping it up as fast as I can. That's going to take time to kind of develop, but that's how it should look eventually. Even with good technique with the bag, if you're too slow, you'll notice it clumps and it knocks and it kind of smashes you. Speed is one thing that's going to help you with this technique. With the clean, the snatch, the spin, the arm throw, you want speed. They're your friends here. Okay, check it out. Microphone grip, set up, squish it together, hike, lock out, rip it down. Hike, down. Hike, down. I'm also trying to reach the bag behind me as far as I can. At the back, I give it a little reach, lockout, reach, lockout. This is how you snatch a Bulgarian bag. It can be hell on the grip, strong on the cardio, but it's explosive in nature, down and up. Unlike a kettlebell where you can kind of relax and let the bell do a lot of the momentum. With this, you're trying to shred down and shred up and get those reps done with some authority. Okay, here we go with the arm throw. This is one of the more difficult of the main exercises with the Bulgarian bag. It involves swinging the bag up on the shoulder, catching it, and then sliding it off to the next one and going side to side. It can be a real difficult exercise to pick up. A lot of little technique things, a lot of little nuances, but hopefully this will help. You're probably gonna spend more technique time on this just in the very beginning learning it than you will something like the spin. So feel free to send me any messages that you might need. Refer back to some of the other videos we have on this. Let's go with the arm throw here. We're gonna take a spin grip, and again, we are gonna get this baby spins going because the arm throw comes out of the baby spin. So stage one is just getting this. Stage two, we're gonna do a different pull. We're not gonna spin us around our head, obviously. This is the arm throw. So we're gonna keep it close to us and come up on the shoulder right here. This is the midpoint of the lift. After here, I'm gonna stand up, cast it off, slide it, catch it on the other side the exact same way. Stand up, slide it across, catch it back on the first side, stand up, catch it on the second side. This would be the arm throw. And the essence to this is catching it without it bashing me and banging me and hitting me in the back really hard. Okay? So a couple little things that we gotta work on. We've already got the weight shift down from some of the spin techniques, and then so let's pick it up from there. Okay, I think the easiest place to start is let's actually start on the shoulder. What gives everybody the problems here is the catch and how it's supposed to be positioned on the shoulder for comfort, if you can call it that. So let's take a look at it. Back comes up and it's caught on the shoulder. Let's take a look at what's going on here. My left hand is around my neck like a rear naked choke. It's not over here on this side. It's over around my neck. Arm two, my right arm, is the most important one. Look how it's up 90 degrees and horizontal to the ground. It's supporting the bag right there. If I didn't have that, the bag would just fall down. So my right arm is the important one. That's what's kind of supporting it. Left arm is around the neck, grabbing the other handle. I stand up, slide it just into these baby spins, and I come out the other side doing the exact same thing. My right hand's around the neck. My left arm is up, horizontal to the ground, and 90 degrees. That catches the bag, that supports the bag. I stand up, slide it, drop down and catch it. Stand up, slide it across, drop down and catch it. This one can take some time. Okay. There's a smoothness to kind of catching that. When that bag is coming up around the corner and it's coming over for you, you want to wait as long as possible to actually drop down. Because if you drop too early while the thing's still flipping over, it's going to come down and bash you in the back. So the later you drop down, the more you wait, the cleaner you're going to catch that bag on your shoulder. I can usually do it pretty well, but let me demonstrate what happens when you don't time it well. So here's a couple good ones. Soft, soft. Now watch. Ugh. Drop down too early. Ugh. It beats the crap out of you waiting for it. No, wait. Last minute drop down. Last minute drop down. Okay, it's a little bit smoother that way. It's just a timing thing. But if you notice, a lot of the spin techniques stay here. From the weight distribution, the baby spin, you're just pulling it up a little bit differently, dropping down and catching it, one hand around the neck, one arm at 90 degrees, standing up, sliding it across, dropping down on the other side, same thing, hand around the neck, other arm at 90 degrees, and you just kind of tax those side to side to side to side. That is the arm throw. Now you want to keep the bag obviously as close to you as possible for this one. If the bag is too far away and it's heavy, there's no stopping it from coming back and hitting you. But when I come up the corner and I'm dropping down for it, we want that bag close to us, just like you would do a clean or a snatch with a kettlebell or a bag. General technique, but this is good. Okay, so grab your bag and let's practice a few reps of that arm throw. Practice with me. Just like anything else, you're gonna practice 10 to 20 reps or 30 seconds and do multiple sets until you feel like you're getting the hang of it. Each session we add a few more, and you should be getting a little bit better. So let's see what this looks like. The arm throw by itself. So a spin grip, feet somewhat under. We don't want the wide stance like the snatch. We want them somewhat under your shoulders. Okay. Baby spins to start, and up on the shoulder and catch. Stand up on the shoulder and catch. Stand up, catch, stand up, catch. And every time you catch, check your position out and make sure it's in a good spot here. Up on the other shoulder, catch. It's in a good spot. Up on the other shoulder, catch. I haven't hit myself hard with the bag once. This particular exercise is real grippy in nature, real taxing on the grip. Should be. And it should be able to land smooth on your shoulders. It shouldn't be bashing you, it shouldn't be sliding and hitting you. That is the arm throw. So practice that. That would probably take more of your technique time just learning it, and then once you get it, probably never have to practice it again.